How do you know when to hustle and when not to?
I'm always in hustle mode. Sometimes I'm in hard press hustle mode, and sometimes I'm in light hustle mode. So it just depends. It depends on the situation, what's going on. Hustling is always trying to be on your grind to help develop your full potential. So I'm always hustling. It just depends on what it is. In the morning time when I get up, I'm hustling. I want to get up, get ready. Prior to me getting ready, I need to get out, do my stretches, do my meditation because that motivates me. That gets the adrenaline pumping. I give my words of affirmation to myself. So that's my light hustle. And coming up with different systems to help me to develop. One of the things that I do, and I wouldn't call it hustle, hard press hustle, but one of the things that keep me focused during the run of the day is the night before. Like tonight before I retire, I have a little pad and pencil beside my bed, and I touch on this briefly in the book. And before I go to bed, I write down every task that I didn't do that day, and I've transposed it over to the new list. And then I write down what I'm going to do, my goals and objectives for the previous day. Now the next day I get up, I heed to that list. I get up and do my regimen, my light hustle, stretch, meditate, so I'm ready to go. And I have a list of everything that I'm going to do that day that's going to make me feel accomplished. Now, I don't make that list no more than about 6 or 7 things, and I push, and I have a top priority list. So if I can get those first 3 done, that makes me feel good about myself, that I was successful that day, I achieved something, I didn't waste a lot of time talking on the phone, and then at the end of the day to get on hard press to try and get something accomplished. So I'm always in hustle mode. Like I said, hard press is when you have time constraints. So I try not to get into that mode where I have a time constraint, although I work very well under pressure, but I don't like it because it's stress. But I have this mechanism that I utilize. Take a deep breath, and things could always be worse than they are. And it's just me, I'm human. If I don't get to it today, then I'll get to it tomorrow. I just will apologize. The trick is to make sure that you humble yourself enough to let people know I dropped the ball a little bit, but I will pick it up tomorrow. But getting back to my list, and the things I don't get done that day on that list, I reshuffle that and I prioritize it and I roll over to the next day. So don't get discouraged if that list, you do things that's not on that list. And this is my hard press hustle mode. Some mornings I get up and there's an emergency that happens, so I can't follow that list at all. I got to rearrange, reshuffle things, and make it work. So I'm always in hustle mode, either hard press hustle or light hustle mode, because my wheels are always turning. I'm trying to better myself to maximize my full potential.
When maximizing your full potential, what do you do when you fall short?
Okay, once again, we all gonna fall short. But the thing about it is, after falling short several times, more than several times, but falling short when it actually, to the point where it affected my performance or my productivity, then what I had to do is, that's why I put in my list the priority list. I prioritize it. These top 3 things are an absolute must, or I think in my mind a must, but nothing is an absolute must. But those top 3 things, I try and knock those out first. So if I knock those 3 things out first, then I'm okay.
Suppose you knock a few things out and it doesn't pan out the way you so desire. How would you handle that?
Okay. Once again, I have a mechanism in me. If it doesn't pan out the way I desire it to, and for an example, and this happens, it hasn't happened before, it's going to happen again. The trick is you acknowledge that you didn't get time if that's the case, but no one liked to hear that you didn't get time to do their task or what was important to them that day. But I always apologize and say, hey, look, I'm gonna apologize. First, something else came up, an emergency, when in essence something else did come up because you didn't get a chance to do it, whether it was your dog got sick, you need to take the child to the doctor, or whatever the case may be. But always acknowledge and say, hey, look, this is where we are. And the thing that I would do if anything is a task is due for the end of the day, I would reach out to that person around noon and say, hey, look, I'm really working hard on this. I might not get a chance to finish it today because I really want to make sure I'm able to review this, fine tune it. So it may be first thing tomorrow. So that's how I would handle that. Now, example, I have one of the managers that I support technically on my team, my regional team support him technically and his staff. If there's anything that my regional technical support can't figure out or they're not comfortable with, then I'll take that task myself. He reached out to me about 4 p.m. It may have been 4:30. Cornelius, I'm about to present tomorrow. I need you to take a look at the presentation. I need you to insert your technical piece or your technical insights or some things I need to bring up. Or can you call in first thing in the morning? I need this by the end of the day. You know, I took a couple deep breaths and I kind of like, I said, okay, I want to help you. I'm going to help you. And I'm going to work on this as much as I can. I said, but it's already 4 o'clock. My day ends at 5. I said, so I'll do what I can, but I'm going to have to give you this tomorrow by noon. So as long as you let the individual know, because you manage yourself ultimately, I let this guy know, and he said, oh, Cornelius, I'm so sorry, you don't even report to me. And so I laughed it off. But basically, you got to step in and let people know. Because guess what? People treat you the way you allow them to.